Okay, Battlefield of Eternity, guys, we're in the second winner bracket semi-final now. We have the Bangbush going up against the Cats. So, yeah, it was actually kind of funny because there was one player still missing and I immediately called out Masquerade for not joining the lobby. He's always late, he never joins it. And then a minute later I was thinking about it and I was like, wait a second, why am I calling out Masquerade? He's not playing for any of these teams here. I was about to say that he's innocent, but then again he's French, and the French are never innocent. So, yeah, like, I don't know. My go-to is to call Masquerade for delaying everything, because he's always late when he's actually playing. I think what happened is that I saw Ultralisk and Nagrom, and my mind immediately then jumped to, oh, this is Team Wah! So if somebody's missing, it's Masquerade, he's not here. But yeah, either way. So the Heroes International continues, qualifier number 1. It's all about determining which team goes to Miami for Europe. Now in total there will be 3 European teams, 3 North American teams, and 2 Korean teams that attend the offline event in the US. But we are going to determine through the first qualifier the first team that gets there. And it's interesting. We have some wild games already washed up. The current powerhouse is struggling a bit more than a lot of people expected. They dropped 2 maps already. Now we can obviously always argue that it's a fluke, that they still need a little bit more time to maybe coordinate communication and just to, you know, like grow together as a unit. But there's also the argument to be made that even despite those things, they should do a bit better than they are currently doing. And we'll keep an eye on them if they can qualify to the first qualifier, if it's going to be somebody else, or what happens then in Miami. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. In total, there's $11,000 of prize money on the line. Again, there will be an offline event running 3 days, so if you are in Miami or if you want to combine it with a short vacation, if you live nearby, then you can also stop by, shake hands with the players, say hi to the casters and everyone. It's a small event, but it's a pretty awesome one. And the good thing about small events is also you're very close to the players, and it's a lot more... you're a lot closer to everybody, and it's just not like the audience and the players, you can mingle a lot more, which has its own charm. So it's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it. Also going to cast with Trixler over there. Now again, if you want to have more information, you can check out the website. If you watch this on YouTube, there's also going to be a link in the video description. And as I said before, there is a GoFundMe. So if you want to support events like this, if you want to make it easier for us to host these things in the future, then you can support this at the GoFundMe. Every single donation that gets dropped into the GoFundMe is going to be met by an equal donation from our sponsors. And our sponsors, again, are Heroes of the Storm fans. So there's no big company behind this. It's literally just Heroes of the Storm fans that also want to make this happen. And they said, like, okay, every single donation is going to be met by us with an equal amount. And that's going to make it easier for us to get additional casters involved, to up the production level a little bit, get additional cameras, show you more on the on-site player interviews or whatnot. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. For our first game here, we now got Sylvanas, we got Sylvanas banned, but Li Ming and Tracer are actually chosen. So that's going to be great already. Ultralisk is going to be fun to watch, with Nagrom again in the main tank. It would be kind of funny if he makes it again to Miami, because the last time that he was there, which was not for a big international event, but we had one European team fight against the Americans, and Nagrom was subbing in for Team Wah at the time, and he played support, but traditionally he is a tank, and that's the role that he's currently playing for the Bangbush. But with the final picks here, so we got Genji, we got TRL, and we got Brightwing to round things out. The Shimada brothers united on game number 1 for the Cats. Battlefield of Eternity is the map, everybody, so let's go. First map in the best of 3 series here in the winner bracket semi-final of the European qualifier for the Heroes International. Bangbush against Cats. Henning playing Malfurion on the first map. We got Nagrom on Johanna, Svamgrota on Hogger, Skog is playing Tracer, and Ultralisk is rocking Li Ming in the first game. To the right side of the map, the Cats with Drakia on Genji. We got Maitri on Hanzo, Honyo on Tyrael, Mr. Octa. We got Soaking on Urel, and Captain Rex is playing Brightwing. So the Fruit Fly is in the house. And we have on level 1, again, the Zealous Glare over here. We got the Emerald Dreams. And I am ready for some action. First time that we are seeing Urel, by the way. At least in the games that we covered so far. So Urel hasn't been chosen previously. Might try already. A couple of hits connected here. Same time now. What else do we get? We got the Ardent Restoration on level 1. Hyper Shift is in. But for the Bangbush, the Bangbush is another team that obviously most people expect to do very well in these qualifiers and to eventually lock in one of the slots that would let them to represent Europe. I mean, generally speaking, oh, good kill. Nice first blood. Generally speaking, when you look at the teams that signed up so far, the teams that you would expect normally to get slots for Miami are Bangbush and Washed Up. Now, I could totally see some upsets happening, but that's at least what is to be expected. I mean, of course, with like years and years of Heroes of the Storm tournaments, you get a bit of an idea which teams normally are able to lock in the top positions. And right now, those are the top dogs. There have been several changes on all of these teams, so they have to also find themselves and adjust to those. So that could change things, especially, I mean, look at this, for example. The camp gets stolen and they nearly lost Jojo too. It was a nice move by the Cats. And the Cats, for example, they are a team that was always knocking at the top 3. So they could definitely be the one that also get a ticket to Miami. The interesting part for me personally is that with, let's say, Washed Up being a team that has been formed by players from both Team WAP and the Hardos, the third spot is currently wide open. And we could see some upsets, we could see some team form for the second qualifier that hasn't participated in the first one yet. And there's like all kinds of things that could still happen here. But the third slot is going to be super interesting for this. There might well be a team of players that have never attended an offline event that make it to Miami. And also on the North American qualifiers, it's not really a given who's going to participate at the Heroes International. So there's a lot of cool stuff that could happen for sure. Now, with Tracer getting killed, and a bit deep at the top as it seems, we now have the first objective about to be announced, and that means that both teams will take their mercenary camp. Try to get those on the lane in time with the objective. The timing here is absolutely crucial. I mean, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is you're trying to force your opponent to split some heroes from the fight in the middle over the objective to the lane to ensure that not too many structures are being destroyed by the waves and the mercenary camp, who are both going to hit that. So that's something that they're both going to be looking for. With Tyrael also, always the question, how aggressive is he going to be? We have seen more and more plays with Judgment. Now, of course, Sanctification is still the priority ult on level 10, but there's a lot of of Judgment plays lately, where you can just try to eliminate a single target, and that could still happen. Now, they're just racing this hard, and that's where Hanzo is unleashing all the power of his level 4 talent. Both of them, I mean, more or less evenly split. The blue team is a bit ahead by 2,000 hit points. It's not too shabby, so if it comes to a straight-up race, then they are going to win this one. But, yep. There we go. So, it's time to party! As the Cats are showing their claws. They come in with a double kill already. Nice! And look at Druk here. Druk here really wants to go to the event, it seems. They're even dropping Malfury. Now, it comes at a cost. They're losing Urel, but this is still a big win for them. As long as they can guard this Immortal, Hanzo will be able to win it for them. It would be amazing if they can make this work. But there's Genji, gets a kill on Tracer, and this is looking very good for the Cats all of a sudden. 5 kills to 2. And this is exactly what I said earlier. Washed Up and the Bangbush, they are both showing a little bit of weakness here. And the Immortal, it's so close! It goes to the blue team! No way! With all the kills and everything that they just pulled off, they still lose the objective. The cooldown on Hanzo wasn't ready yet. The level 7 talent earlier for the red team, but they lose the objective. Yeah, that's annoying. That's unfortunate. I mean, there's no shield on this Immortal, but that is still frustrating. I would be very frustrated if I was them. 5 kills to 2, and they still lose the big boy. So here comes the damage. The fort is still going to take some, and the fight continues. But can you imagine if the Cats actually make it to the event? That would be pretty incredible. So, yeah, here we are. The Immortal about to be taken out. Still decent damage on the fort. He's down to 50% HP. And Hogger at the bottom of the map has pushed this even further. Urel needs to get the hell out of there and is able to escape. But Hogger is now also going for the camp, or at least trying to. And they're not rotating fast enough to do anything about him. But, yep, there it is. Okay, so all the way up towards the top, what we now have is another camp about to be taken. This time it's the blue team that commit to it, so each team gets one. The goal is still to make it for the fort and take this one out. Nagrom! Yeah, maybe going a bit too deep, but he has a lot of help. There's 4 heroes in total that are playing around this. Down to the bottom of the map, we have a 2 versus 1 right now. Hogga is the only one that is holding the experience for the blue team on the lane. Everybody else is pushing topside. So it's the traditional 4-1 split with a lot of poke happening against the fort. The idea, of course, being that the Bangbush is trying to take it down after all, using the camp, using the poke, and seeing where they can get with this. Level 10 ability is also inching closer, and this time Genji is the one that falls. Gets his ass moonfired as they were trying to take Tracer out again, and it nearly worked. But Genji dies, and in addition to that, we also have the fort dropped. So, yep, that's not too bad. It's actually the Bangbush pulling ahead after struggling in the early game in teamfights at least. They are now heavily pulling ahead in structures. They take the first one out, they drop the bottom wall, and now they're also making another player down for the bottom of the map, and they get another kill. Nice root from Malfurion, and they poke that fort even further. Level 10 abilities, immediate. Oh, Yrel, the space code, full Sudoku as she jumps in without her ult, half a second too soon. Tracer still moving out. Drakia wants the kill, nearly gets it, barely misses out on it and might be punished for it too. He makes it back out of the fight, but again, Skork and Drakia have been fighting a battle between each other time and time again here the entire time. It's kind of nuts. So the next objective is up. We have the Immortal back on the map, and this time both teams have level 10 abilities, and of course at this point they are also all on the map. It's a 5 versus 5. 13 stacks for the Ardent Restoration for Octa. Not a whole lot they can get here. Went for Sanctification as expected. They make the play for him. And he makes it out. But then the Sanct just at the nick of time. Skork low and Drakia punishes Tracer once again. This keeps happening. The interplay between those two is super fun. But the punishment is really coming in strong now. As the Cats see their chance, they see the opening, and they go for a triple kill. And it looks like this objective is going to be theirs. There's the big opportunity to lock it in. But yeah, big damage. Tracer the first one to fall, and then they're following it up with another double kill down here. As Svamgrota and Nagrom get both punished, even with the Blessed Shield thrown out to help them in that situation. But it just wasn't enough. 9 kills to 5, half a level lead for the Cats. And this is a 50-60% shield on the Immortal. And they might even invade. Oh, the arrow! The shockwave! Full commitment here! They are really going for it. The Immortal already on the lane. The camp taken by the blue team. They were finally able to claim it. And with 20 hit points, Octa makes it out of the fight. Drakia also on the run. What a battle between them now. Game number 1. And this is getting wild. Absolutely wild. Now, they are still trying to push here, but of course, everybody is defending with the exception of Hogga. But that is quite something. And Genji just chasing Tracer over and over again. The Shimada brothers working in tandem with the arrow coming in initially, but he couldn't quite get this. So the fort doesn't fall, but the early level 13 talent for the Cats regardless. These teams are really going at it. This is game 1. Game number 1 is what we're looking at right now. 30,000 damage for Genji, 31,000 for Li Ming. They take 1 camp. They want to claim 2, but they will have to fall back here. This is a 4 versus 3 at the bottom of the map. At least for now. The Shimada brothers are all at the top. Hanzo has his arrow. He could throw the arrow out. He does! The arrow's coming! The arrow's coming, they dodge it. Sanctification is also dropped. They sacrifice both ults to get the camp, and they lock it in. Nice. Neatly done. Okay. With that, we have 13 on both sides. Came a bit late for the Bangbush, but they got it now. That gives us also the Blessed Hammer here. It's a cool game. It's a cool opening into the series. They try to go for Hogga, and they get him. Hogga gets murdered. Well done. The bottom of the map, that's a different story though. Brightwing and Tyrael are both trying to stay alive here, even forcing Malfurion to use the Tranquility. They were diving deep underneath the fort to get a kill and maybe take the structure out. But as all of this happens, Hawker dies topside, and that opens the fort up to a lot of damage, as you can see. So big problem for them right now. That's a lot that's happening here. This could be... I don't think that the fort is going to fall now, but both of them on the blue team side are now super low. Now, the advantage in structures is still in the hands of the Bangbush. But as you can tell, they're falling a bit more behind in the experience. And here comes the next objective. Okay, let's see what they can pull off. 5 kills to 10 thus far in the game. And they can try to get Hanzo a bit closer here. I think the top fort is going to fall to the camp. Not sure if Hogger or anybody else is going to move towards the top lane in time to prevent that from happening. But at the bottom, you could see a similar picture, of course. This one is going to be important. If the Bangbush is going to win this one, then it's all Gucci. But if they're going to lose here, then they're going to lose a lot of structures. And Okta is already doing some damage. Genji is making sure that the top fort falls. Brightwing has started to defend the bottom of the map as best she can. And the fight continues. So the arrow is out. Short distance arrow on the other hand. Yeah, they're still trying to make a play for Tracer. Bomb is out. Ult already used from Urel. Maybe a little bit early here by Soaking. But he's alive, and that's all that counts. Big cooldown though. And Tyrael dies. Tyrael is dead. Urel now at the bottom of the map. And still some damage done here up at the top, but the Shaman is going to fall to the towers now. And a halftime show is a big win for Bangbush. They haven't actually lost any hit points. Well, maybe a few, maybe one hit or two, but that's it. So right now, it's a 4 versus 5. Bangbush is looking strong here, and they're trying to go for the kill again. Yeah. Hanzo, of course, he can always help out a bit, but as you can tell, this is a big shield. The Bangbush is going to have a big opportunity to take not only the bottom fort, but maybe even destroy the keep. It's a pretty cool game. And despite the fact that the Bangbush is not really having a lot of luck in those team fights, they're still behind in kills. They are now closing in on level 16. The Cats already have access to the additional talent. And this push is gonna hit him hard. So Urel is still at the top, but she is needed. So Soaking can't spend too much time here. Needs to retreat eventually. Sooner rather than later. They're giving up the fort. They're not even fighting for it. Don't really have to. Both teams now have 16. Only player, by the way, that hasn't died in the entire game is Ultralisk. Limbing is the only one that hasn't fallen yet. So here's the party now. The level 16 talents also giving us the mirror ball. They're trying to poke the shield down as best they can, but of course the big goal for the Bangbush is to drop this keep. Ideally get some kills and then push it towards the core. But the keep is like the minimum that they're currently waiting for here. And the attacks are coming. The Immortals still doing good damage. We're 13.5 minutes into the game. They're defending as best they can. And they might even be able to save the keep itself, but it could be close. Few more hits. And of course there's also some range damage to account for. Arrow, and immediately cleansed out by Malfurion. The Nature's Cure helping out here. Tyrael gets caught again and dies once more. Gets the hit. Didn't have the time to use Sanctification here. And now the keep will fall. They're going to poke it slowly and steadily. Ultralisk with one combo after another. Nagro moving into. But there's very little that the Cats can do in this situation. They can push them back, but it's another 20 seconds until Tyrael is back on the field. And therefore, it will be the first major structure that falls. And so does Urel. Another kill against Soaking. He gets dropped once more. And that's a problem, because now the core is open. Now you can go in a 5 versus 3 and try to reduce the shield. Brightwing! Oh, Brightwing's still alive, but the core is losing the shield quickly. Yeah, Tyrael, if he can survive. No damage done, not enough, and they're retreating. They're realizing that they won't be able to take the game. Could have maybe done a bit more damage, but the risk is always that on the way back you're getting caught by the opponent. There's a lot of chase potential that we see from the Cats. Dracula himself is already trying to go for it, and he nearly got a kill. Big arrow! And the kill! The big boy arrow right here, and now Malfurion is dead as well. A double kill after Hanzo just crushed it. Nicely done. That was huge. I mean, yeah, check this one out. So my try, he's sitting tight, gets the arrow, bam! Hits 4 of them, and then Li Ming gets killed instantly, and Malfurion falls a few seconds later. 12 kills to 8 now. Beautiful game. That's an awesome one to start things up. 20 kills in total, 15 minutes into it, and a 5 versus 3, which should allow the Cats to at least get the halftime show here. That should be the minimum of what they can accomplish in this situation. And they have Hanzo, of course, in the prime position up at the Immortal, and they can now do some damage. 99% on the core for the red team, but this game isn't over yet. One fort at the top has fallen, and if they lock the objective in, they will definitely get the one at the bot lane and can relieve some of the pressure, because now that there is still a fort and a keep currently at the bottom of the map, that means that every single wave will spawn a catapult, and there are no counter catapults by the Cats. So they need to do some damage down here. And at the top, this is of course a big one as well. Double wave plus catapult plus also the shaman camp. That could destroy your keep too. The bot lane is still a bit of a concern for the Cats, so they really need to do something here. They need to win this quickly. Their core is going to be attacked soon, but they have a chance. They definitely do. But eventually somebody will have to fall back. Well, Soking is already moving in. If they can get the kill, that would be the dream. Ults so far not used. And that core... Oh, Henning! Careful here. He can't fall. This is a problem. Yeah, but the catapult is griefing again. That AI has still not gotten any better. The top keep is getting attacked. Li Ming moved towards the top side. They're trying to save that top keep. They're trying to save the keep. The shield is being removed here. Arrow missing completely. They go for the Immortal, and the Immortal is taken, but Genji is dead. Genji is dead. The Oh, and Urel is dead too. Didn't even use her ult here. So no ult, dead Urel, and well, this could very well be game. There was a chance for the Cats to lock in the victory. They have the Immortal. They won the battle, but they're losing the war. My try dies, so does Brightwing, and it is a victory for the Bangbush on the first map of the series. But a close one. 12 kills to 12, and they're going to be able to make it happen. 5-man team wipe to finish what they started. And a 1-0 lead for the Bangbush after a victory on Battlefield. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Second game. The Cats can fight back now. They did a good job on the first map. I gotta give them that. That could have been a victory. In that last fight, the Bangbush really stepped it up and was able to get 2 kills. If they don't get those, then I think it could be tricky. That Immortal was doing a lot of work at the bot lane. But of course, with multiple heroes falling during the final fight, the Bangbush had a shot for the core and they took it. But that's definitely one that they could have lost there. So yeah. Either way, we got Hogger banned. And we also got the Junkrat ban now. Honestly, for a lot of the games, it feels there's a little bit of a pattern. We start with Battlefield of Eternity and then we move into Infernal Shrine. So it seems like teams are oftentimes just sticking with the general map theme. So another Diablo map incoming. But yeah. Talking about Diablo. Next month in September, apparently they're releasing a new Monkey Island. So I am honestly super hyped for this. Monkey Island is one of the games that I grew up with, and I loved all the titles, not all of them, but like most of them. But I'm really looking forward to the new Monkey Island. It should be fun. Like adventures, I played all of this stuff. Indiana Jones, all of these Indiana Jones adventures, the Monkey Island games. And that a new one comes out that is also designed and made by the originals, by the OGs. That's kind of cool. So I hope that it's fun. And I talked about this in one of the other streams, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So it's good that there's still some of the games coming, you know, like the small ones that you can just enjoy for yourself. And it's a bit of a throwback also to the past. If they're just able to make it a very nostalgic experience, then it's already a win in my book. So very much looking forward to that. But yeah, either way, we now got Leoric and we have Brightwing with a Blaze on Infernal Shrines taken early, and they got Jojo. They got Blaze and Johanna. There's a lot of AoE that they got now. So my try and Sylvanas. But yeah, next month is going to be the pirate life for me. A couple of insult duels. Talking about pirates. You guys know who Blackheart's favorite support is? It's Rhaegar! Alright, so Sylvanas gets taken. A lot of AoE already for them. And a lot of tankiness at the front line that they can rock here. Now we got Anduin banned out. And Hanzo is also eliminated. They're really targeting a lot of the supports here. So first we got Lucio banned, we got Anduin banned. Brightwing is already taken. That leaves us with Rhaegar, with Malfurion, Deckard Cain can be played here. So yeah, we got plenty. I'm missing a few here too. But either way, what else are we gonna get? Come on, boys. What are they gonna lock in here? Diablo, the Lord of Terror. The only reason why Diablo is terrifying lately is because of all the microtransactions. That's the only thing that terrifies us about this boy. False stat for them, so technically you could go into Entombment Gust. Last 2 picks for the red team. I would not put it past them to win 1 and force game 3. It's actually one of the most surprising things in the tournament that we had a lot of 3-mappers early on in the tournament. And always like, it's kind of funny to... Oh, Greymane. I talked a lot about Greymane in the context of the Korean teams playing him a bit more. But we also got Stukov now, Milaiki. What was I about to say? Yeah, it's always kind of funny. There's always people that complain in early stages of tournaments about like, there's so many 2-0s. And it's like, yeah, doofus. Of course there's a lot of 2-0s. What do you expect at the beginning of the tournament? That's literally how tournaments are designed. That you have the top teams going up against weaker teams in the early stages, and that usually results in a 2-0. This, on the other hand, had a lot of 2-1 games since the underdogs were able to claim a couple of victories. But can the Cats now take a map off the Bangbush? That's a different question. Ultralisk with Kerrigan pick here. And that leads us to the second map, so let's go everybody. Infernal Shrines, map number 2, the Cats against the Bangbush. Bangbush against Cats, game number 2. The opportunity for the Bangbush to lock in a victory and move on to the winner bracket final to face off against Washed Up. But the Cats, they have different plans. On the left side, we got Henning on Brightwing. Skok is playing Falstad. Svamkarota on Leoric with the Orson's Renewal. Nakrom on Diablo. And we got Ultralisk on Kerrigan. Towards the right side of the map, we got Drak here on Greymane. Starting things off with a Viciousness. We have Maitri on Sylvanas, Blaze played by Soaking, Honio on Johanna, and Captain Rex is playing Stukov. Now, Stukov has fallen off a little bit. I haven't seen our boy in a while. I mean, last year in particular, we had a whole phase where everybody was playing Varian Stukov. Still a fantastic composition. If you're playing in an amateur league or you just play with friends in general, then yes, anything like Varian, Stukov, plus some damage can be fantastic to get you quick and easy kills. And that style has been played by a lot of these teams, especially Benny, love to do that. Played Varian time and time again and just like taunt all day, every day. But now we already have some brawl happening in the middle, and Drakia is moving out with Greymane and is alive. He couldn't get the kill here. Greymane definitely one of the biggest differences in priorities currently with the Korean and the European meta. Greymane getting played a lot by the Korean teams. It's gonna be so interesting to see the Korean teams play on the international stage. It's honestly very, very difficult to judge how good they're playing these days. The problem is that they didn't have as much competition as the European teams and also the North American teams. So the level of play in general in Korea has dropped off a lot. But at the same time, you have of course still fantastic players with a lot of good instincts, with mechanics that can always make this happen. But it's a little bit tricky without seeing, you know, regions face off against each other on a regular basis to really judge how strong a region currently is. The level of the top players, that's a different story. But as we've seen also in the past when Breeze, Whoopi and friends were forming up teams and were playing together, it doesn't necessarily work all the time. So the level of training is definitely a bit better in Europe, but is that enough to overcome the big dominance that we've seen from the Koreans throughout the days of HGC, or is it just another event where the Korean teams is just going absolutely hammer and showing everybody that they are, at least on the mechanical level, surpassing everyone? So the meta differences, and then also what's going to happen when the metas clash, it's going to be super interesting to observe, because yeah, there's definitely a couple of factors to consider. But yeah, it'll be fun. And just the Korean qualifiers in general were, of course, awesome to see. People like Reset, Mary Day, Hooligan, and I mean, who else? The play there was awesome. If you haven't caught those games yet, then you should definitely check them out on the YouTube channel. There's a playlist too for the first Korean qualifier that you can have a look at. Tempest playing, and especially those matches against Ammonite, they're pretty crazy. And one game also comes to mind. If you haven't seen that yet, then definitely check it out on YouTube. It was, I think there's a Cho'Gall also on the thumbnail, or at least he's mentioned in the title, because they had a pretty interesting Cho'Gall cheese on Sky Temple, and it nearly worked. So it was very fascinating to see that. If you haven't caught that yet, I can highly recommend it. It's definitely a bit of a different style. But in the game at hand, we so far haven't seen a single kill yet. The first objective is up, and that's where the party really starts. Immediately the damage against Jojo, but the Iron Skin is out just in time. Sylvanas was still missing though, and that's a bit of a problem. But she's joining the fun as Falstad is still dealing with the top lane, trying to push this out. And we now have very similar points there. So, yep. There we go. 7 is in. Falstad has made it happen. That's a bit of a problem now for the Cats, and they're immediately on the receiving end of an ass-kicking as they're losing Stukov, and they might lose more, especially Maitri is low, but he's able to escape. That level 7 talent advantage playing a big role in that last team fight. But with 33 stacks to their name, this looked like it could have been a win for the Cats after all. It is the blue team though that locks this one in. And Jojo, I think her dying here wasn't really necessary. Bridging this and getting another 7 of these Shrine minions was highly unlikely. And yeah, that's a bit wild. But okay, it's a Frozen Punisher push at the bottom of the map, and nobody baited it over the wall, which likely will result in the fort getting destroyed now. Yeah, that's a big issue. Nobody was there to bait it over, nobody could have done it, and yeah, they could have easily moved in and dropped this. So they will still do exactly that. Frozen Punisher is just insane. And you have nobody dealing with it, and of course this happens. The fort down, easily taken. They are also claiming a few of the camps that were still up on the map. And that gives the blue team now a pretty big lead. They have a level advantage over the red team. 2 kills to 0. The first fort also destroyed. And yep. You know what? Up at the top. Skork is still pushing. I mean, this is another problem also. Skork with Falstad, we've seen it play a role during the first objective when he was able to soak experience at the top lane and then fly down, so they didn't have to fight a 4 versus 5. The level 7 talent advantage definitely played a big role in the victory that they got there. But in the late game, Falstad can also play a big role. First of all, he's super tasty, so if you get the chicken like that, especially a little bit crispy with some nice flames from Blaze, then mwah, the team is definitely going to appreciate that. They are going to gobble those up, and it boosts morale if you're getting some chicken wings into the action. But in the late game, you can also use Falstad to control the side lanes a little bit, try to push them out, get pressure onto those forts and keeps, maybe even the core. But yeah. So a little bit of crispy chicken here. Falstad is down. Level 10 abilities are ready though. And there's the Apocalypse after the Entomb. They're trying to go for the kill, and they get it. Greymane murdered. No chance for him. The wolf is dead. And here we go. The play made for the mid lane as they're destroying another wall here. Trying to take this one down too. 3 kills to 1 currently. Up towards the top. We have Ultralisk right now. Getting a little bit more experience for all of them. And at the same time, in the middle of the map, we still have Falstad and Henning just doing their thing, pushing them back as best they can, and yeah, trying to make a few more plays, maybe get a quick kill on somebody. You can already see that there's a couple of gank attempts happening, especially from the Cats as they're going for Nagrom. Right wing is helping as best she can, but it seems that Nagrom might still fall here, get slowed once more, and that's the end of him. Diablo down. Well done. Yeah, and again, you gotta get a kill squad onto the map every now and then just try and collapse on single targets in order to get these kills and bring yourself back into the game. And after they kill Diablo, they're making the same move now for Ultralisk, and they drop him too. So Kerrigan is dead as well. They will also they could take the camp, but they decided against it. Instead, they're making a move for the fort. I can appreciate that. Leo is still at the bottom of the map, but he's also doing damage. So they lose part of the bottom wall that protects the keep. And Falstad is in the middle. There's a lot of pressure and counter pressure happening. The blue team has not completely retreated after they lost multiple heroes. Instead, they were still trying to get damage in the middle and the bottom of the map. But they lost their top fort. And that's a bit of a nuisance considering that the next objective is topside. So now only the cats have a fountain at the top and a retreat point. But yeah, 3-3 kills right now. We already have another move being made for it, but this is the moment where the cats can really shine. They don't have the level 13 talent, so getting that would be neat. That's what Greymane is for at the bot lane, but they really need to push them back here as quickly as they possibly can. Good damage against Nagrom. Nice, the Kerrigan combo missing so far. Mitra gets attacked again. Greymane on the way, but Falstad is already here, and it leads to a Sylvanas death. Sylvanas is down, and yeah, that one was exactly what they needed. Falstad flying in, turning it into a 5 versus 4. Now they got the follow-up kill on Soaking. He's dead too. 5 kills, 2-3, and now the level 13 talent is ready. Too little too late. Seems like another Punisher for the Bang Bush is inevitable. So, all the way up at the top, Ultralisk. Yeah, he's getting them ahead. They're trying again for Diablo apparently here, but another wall stun coming from Markrom. And that's a kill. Yep, Captain Rex is down. Stukov, the Admiral, he's getting demoted for sure after that. Oh, the Gust being forced, but it kept Falstad alive. And the rest of the team. So yeah, good stuff. Now, with all of that, we have topside, the Punisher. Yeah, it's going to be another fort. The wall already down. Even the fort taking a bit of damage. They're going to get this for sure. Now, down to the bottom, or they're in the middle of the map. They still have one camp that gets destroyed. But they're not pushing with the entire team here. So, Greymane is really good at defending against these bad boys. Finally making their move. Falstad, by the way, taking care of the mid lane. So, he drops another one. They're going for all the outer structures at the same time here. Stacks completed for Diablo once again, so he still could lose the souls, but he's still safe. Yeah, Falling Sword by Jojo gets used. The Punisher is already gone. They're still looking for kills on the other hand, and if they get one, that would be fantastic, but they can't quite lock that in. It wasn't a complete waste though. Svamgrotta gets out, so Leoric doesn't activate his trade, and they drop the fort in the mid lane, and now they get the Greymane kill, and Soaking is likely gonna fall again too, I say, and then Jojo saves his butt. Good Condemn, just making sure that they're staying away from him, but she pays a price for it. Johanna saving Blaze and dying herself in the process. Captain Rex also getting caught here. Stukov dead once again. Soaking Hearths out, they didn't see it in time, but they were also not close enough to interrupt him. But of course, the Bang Bush now with a dominant performance. 9 kills to 3. They struggled a lot on the first map to get their kills, but this is a very different story what we're observing on Infernal Shrines. They're looking way better here, way more coordinated. The Bang Bush with a 1-0 lead. They want to go to the winner bracket final as quickly as possible. Dragger gets caught. Still able to make it out. Bunker dropped just to be safe. But it's a 2-level advantage now in the hands of the Bang Bush, and they got the talent lead, which also completes again the Royal Focus build here with the Ominous Wraith. So yeah, they're looking great. All the forts with the exception of the top one have now been destroyed on the side of the cats. But they are not quite out of this one yet. I mean, again, all of their keeps are still standing. At the same time, they also have half a level to 16, so for the next objective, they're going to be ready. They can still take this, but they have to win the next Punisher. I honestly don't think that if they lose the next one, they can hold this any longer. The mid lane will be attacked, the keep is likely going to fall, and they would have to make a massive effort to get back into the game. Not impossible, but definitely not easy. At the winner bracket semi-final here. The Heroes International qualifier. 9 kills to 3 right now. And again, guys, if you want to have additional information, you can check out heroesinternational.net. If you watch us on YouTube, there will be links in the video description. So mark the dates. October 14th to 16th. the main event with all 3 regions being represented at an offline event again. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see a lot of the boys from Korea again. It was just so awesome to see them play again in the qualifier. It's gonna be nice to meet up with them again. But yeah, stuns are coming for free from Nagrom, using that level 16 talent as best as he can. So right now, the 2-level lead is still nice. They have a stats advantage because of it. But what they don't have is a talent advantage, and they're not going to get that anytime soon, even with Falstad trying to get some extra experience in the top lane. So this is the moment. This is the moment when the Cats can make their move. Now you gotta go for it. Ultralisk is already waiting in the wings. He wants the combo. Yeah. Oh, they know that Kerrigan is here. They know that Kerrigan is here, and Maitri is still completely getting caught by this. But the Jojo kill happens way before. Johanna gone. Maitri on the run. Brightwing wants to kill. Kerrigan gets it. Jesus, they take 3 down, and now they go for soaking too. It's a quad kill and make it a 5-man team wipe, I suppose. There's the ult. The Apocalypse comes in too. He's just trying to run away from this one, but it's just not gonna happen. Stukov dies. All 5 gone. 14 kills to 3. Kerrigan going for the objective. Brightwing pushing out the top lane. The rest of the team already busying themselves in the middle of the map as they're moving in for the keep, trying to open up the core. Jojo at least is going to be back in 2 seconds, but this is obviously a total nightmare here for the Cats. They look great on the first map, and for a long time it seemed like they might be the ones to take the lead in the best of 3 series, but now things are totally falling apart for them on the second map of the best of 3. The level 20 talents are now available for the blue team. The Bang Bush with the Wind Tunnel. We got them with the Bolt of the Storm. Soaking gets deleted. Absolutely deleted. And I guess it is going to be a loser bracket run for the Cats. The shield is already gone, and this is a 2-0 victory, no doubt about it. The Bang Bush dropping everybody in their side. That Punisher wants a piece of the action as well. Sylvanas falls too. The only survivor is Jojo, and Octa just hides. This is game. Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines both end in favor of the Bang Bush, and they move on to the winner bracket final.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.